Hi everybody, it's your ShopRite Wellness partner Shelby RD, and this month's Make Ahead Meal Inspiration class is all about utilizing breakfast for dinner. And I am featuring one of my favorite products, Vital Farms eggs, as well as their new avocado oil and sea salt butter. So one of the nice things about a frittata is not only is it make ahead because you can let it cool and freeze it into portions, but it's very customizable. And so you start with 8 eggs and a 1/4 cup of milk of your choosing. If you are dairy free, you're gonna leave the cheese out of this recipe and you're gonna use a non-dairy milk. And one thing I do always do when I make an egg dish or when I'm baking, I do crack eggs into a separate bowl, just because if you're not good at cracking, which I'm not, you don't wanna be on egg number 8 and then crack a shell into your main bowl and have to start all over. So for this recipe, it's a base of 8 eggs in a 10-inch pie pan. I like to use the foil ones just so that way you can reuse it, or you can just have less dishes, which we always like. And then a 1/4 cup of milk of your choosing. If you are making this recipe dairy-free, you could just leave the cheese out or use a dairy-free cheese and a 1/4 cup of dairy-free milk. And give it a nice whisk. And you do want to see the color get a little bit lighter and lots of bubbles in there, because that's gonna add our air into the base of our frittata. The difference between a quiche and a frittata is a quiche has a crust, a frittata does not. All right, so then what I did is in this recipe, I am using spinach and mushrooms as my vegetables, but you can use whatever vegetables you'd like. Maybe you wanna do peppers and onions and have more of a Western flavor, or you can do broccoli cheddar, very much something that the kids enjoy, whatever you desire for those fillings. Whatever vegetables you choose, I do recommend using a little bit of shallot and a little bit of minced garlic when you're sauteing those veggies, just to add a little bit more flavor. Shallots and garlic are just a really nice base to any veggie saute you're gonna make, whether that's in a quiche or whether that's in a pasta. You just wanna saute those shallots first with your heartier veggies that are gonna take a little longer to cook. So in this case, your mushrooms, if you were doing those peppers or doing a broccoli, you would do the shallots with those first. And then your veggies that take a little less time to cook, like your spinach, you're gonna throw in at the end. I have my veggies cooked here, and you wanna let them cool, because if we put hot veggies into our raw eggs, they're gonna start to scramble. So you wanna make sure you let them cool. And then I am going to add my Gruyere cheese, which if you want to make a dish a little fancier, Gruyere is a very nutty, sharp cheese. It's almost like a Parmesan, but maybe a little bit more elevated, more nutty than salty. And I just love it with the mushrooms. I think Gruyere and mushrooms goes together so nicely. Then I have my melted avocado oil and sea salt butter, and that's what I'm going to use to coat the tray. One of the wonderful things about this product is having the avocado oil in with the butter. If you've ever seen a chef when they are cooking something, they usually use an oil and a butter in the pan. This product does it for you. So you get the flavor of a delicious butter along with the higher smoke point of an avocado oil. So you're gonna get that crispiness and the flavor from the butter. So we're just gonna put a little bit of that butter, and then I'm just going to move the pan around and get a nice layer on there. And then you're just gonna pour your frittata base in there and cook it for 10 minutes at 400 degrees. And then depending on your oven, you may need to bring the temperature down to 350 for a couple more minutes to cook the inside. But you want to make sure the outside gets crispy and the inside gets cooked. So usually what I like to do is to do some time for a high temperature to get that outside cooked, and then a little bit lower to cook the inside. I have one finished here, and I greased it really well so it comes out nice and whole. So then there are a couple options. Like I said, you can cut it into circles using a biscuit cutter or a glass bowl that has the right size, and then put it onto English muffins and freeze them like breakfast sandwiches. Or you could simply just cut it into your pieces and freeze them and put them in the toaster oven for an easy breakfast or a weeknight dinner with a salad. Very good make ahead, customizable, so you can make it every week, but feel like you're getting a different flavor by mixing and matching those veggies and cheese. And great quality ingredients with these Vital Farms products to give you a delicious make-ahead meal. Thanks so much for joining me. You can visit our recipe shop on ShopRite.com for more make-ahead meal inspiration.